Dear learners, welcome to the session. Now I am going to discuss about different stages in organizational development and prominent models and its comparison, what model suitable for an organization, OD practitioner roles and responsibilities for the organizational overall performance. Before I am going to share about OD stages, I will explain something about OD cycle. There are some sequence of steps in the OD cycle. It is universally accepted for each and every organization. Problem identification to the stage called repeat. What we are going to do? Number one, problem identification. Next stage, situational assessment by expertise. The experts from internal organization or from various corner or maybe a consultant, and action planning, what we are going to execute for the addressing the problem, giving the solution. And finally, according to that decision or roadmap, we are going to make a implementation, that is called we are going to execute the plan. And further, if you want process some certain things, we need to rely on data. Data is a really asset of an organization. With the data, we need to proceed further. After getting the data, we can go for analysis. After careful analysis, we will come to know the real solution. We can arrive the prominent solution for even unsolved problems. And we need to get the feedback from each and every department head or people, correct, with respect to process, with respect to design, with respect to execution, whatever the things that is called problems prolonging in an organization will get to know. So this process is known as repetition in nature, so that the last stage is known as repeat or kind of evaluation again. So problem identification goes to situational assessment, and from situational assessment to action planning, converted into implementation plan, and gathering data, further analysis, and getting feedback and reputation nature. These are all called the organizational development cycle. Next, we'll pass on to the another category called stages of organizational development. Right? What are the stages? In general, five prominent stages are in the OD process. Correct? It is inevitable one. We cannot exclude any one of the stages of OD process. It is applicable to all the organization, either manufacturing or tech-based organization or service-oriented, whatever. We can take example, IT, banking, insurance, pharma, or health, etc. See, number one, the first stage known as entering and contracting. Number two, diagnosing. That is called identifying so many problems or some kind of positive stories. And we can go for the launching so many intervention and further uh, action or taking correcting action and evaluating feedback, and finally go for the exit stage. Either we can proceed further, or if you want, we can withdraw, or we can go for the another stage. So the five stages are prominent stages in the OD process. So entering and contracting, diagnosing, intervening and taking action, evaluating feedback, termination and exit. So these are all the prominent stages under the OD process, friends. We are stepping into action research model, which is the significance model of OD. This model is a pioneer model. We can call it as ARM, Action Research Model. This model facilitating organizational development for further process or towards performance and growth. What we are going to do in the model, organizational perception of problem, how a particular organization perceiving the problem, and they are entering into the feedback and further discussion with the clients to work on the problems. You can ask a question, sir, always you are dictating something about problem. Yes, problem may be pertaining to process, design, people, technology as well. So feedback to clients about the nature and the causes of the problems, and joint action planning for solving the problem. What do you mean by joint action plan? So joint action plan between two parties. One, a person in an organization The another person's maybe expertise from various company called consultant, that is called internal consultant or external consultant. See, further data collection also one of the important stages in the action research model. Data collection and diagnosis by consultant on the problems, determination of objectives and plan of action, and determination of action behavior for achieving these objectives, friends. And reassessment of situation through further data collection, feedback to client and discussion to work on the feedback, and new plan of action and action behavior, that is called the execution stage. These are all the 4 plus 4, 8 plus 4, 12 stages which are predominantly influencing organizational development. So again, I'm telling you, problem identification, what we are going to do, recognizing issues affecting organizational performance. There are so many problems pertaining to organization, performance, with respect to people, with respect to kind of turnover, with respect to sales, with respect to marketing, with respect to human resource management, whatever problem may be there. So how far this research will be facilitating. And regarding that, we need to take data, that is called gathering information using surveys, interviews, and observations as well. And feedback. What do you call feedback? Sharing findings with the employees and management. Action planning, that is called developing strategies to address identified issues, that is called sequence of issues, and implementation stages, execution of planned intervention. The intervention may be different dimension, different avenues, and the another stage called the evaluation, assessing outcomes and effectiveness of change, known as the evaluation. So what is the example? Identifying low productivity and redesigning workflows accordingly. So if we find some kind of low productivity in a specific department, we need to go for revamping or structure or communication, technology, or sequence of process or design as well. So whatever, if you want to do some kind of attempt with respect to changes, we can do. These are all the sequence steps which are available in the action research model. See, the action research model is a systematic data-driven approach to organizational change. It emphasizes problem identification and consecutive improvement. Okay, so collaboration between managers, employees, and OD practitioners. Again, I'm telling three prominent persons are engaging in the action research model. So one, managers, set of employees. The another one, middle or top levels of employees in an organization, and OD practitioners may be internal or external, right? And what are the key steps include in the problem identification? Again, data collection, feedback, action planning, and uses scientific methods and as surveys, encouraging more and more participation and shared decision making process. Say, for instance, conducting so many surveys with respect to employee engagement and redesigning HR practices on result. See, there are plenty of process which are involved in an organization with respect to action research model. See, as I told you, it is widely used in organizational development because it combines scientific analysis with the practical problem solving, friends. This model always focuses on identifying organizational issues and continuously improving processes through structured interventions. It emphasizes collaboration among managers, employees, and OD practitioners, friends. See, ensuring that change is not imposed but always developed collectively. A key strength of action research model is its reliance on data, data, data. Correct? It uses scientific methods such as surveys, interview, and observation. It is always ensure that decisions are based on evidence rather than assumption. Stage by stage, again, I'm going to explain a lot. The model follows a cyclical process which includes problem identification, data collection, feedback, and implementation, so on. This cycle allows organizations to continuously assess refine their strategies. See, another important aspect of this model is participation. See, employees are actively involved in the process, which increases acceptance and reduces resistance to change. People ready to oppose. People ready to, just like that, oppose to the organizational decision making or some kind of steps. So, how we need to probably address all those things. Shared decision making enhances more commitment and improves outcomes, friends. See, in overall, action research model provides a structured and reliable framework for diagnosing problems, implementing solutions, and achieving consecutive organizational development. See, in general, action research model consists of a series of well-defined steps that guide the process of organizational change. So it is not probably finite. It may be expanded from an organization to another organization. See, step by step, I am going to explain now. Yeah. First steps, problem identification. These steps involves recognizing issues that affect the organizational performance. Organizational performance, purely affected by so many problems. Okay, the problems may arise from inefficiencies, low productivity, or employee dissatisfaction. The another step is data collection. See, information is gathered using various methods such as surveys, interviews, and direct observation. These steps ensures a clear understanding of a problem. Another step is feedback. That is called what we are expecting from you. After launching so many things, what employees expect, what employees feel, or clients feel about the entire action what we have taken. The collected data is analyzed and shared with employees and management. The transparency in feedback helps build more trust and encourages more participation. The other step is action planning. See, based on the insights gained, strategies are developed to address the identified issues, whatever the issues, right from top level to middle level to entry level. So these plans are carefully designed to achieve specific objectives. So the implementation stage always involves, executing the planned intervention. What do you call intervention? Earlier sections we shared something about intervention. What intervention? Something we should do what others didn't do till now, or what they have not taken till now. Correct? So this is called a planned interventions. So this may include changes in processes, systems, behaviors within the organization. So for a project given by a client, what we are going to do with a novel approach within short span of time, what we are going to do, right? How we need to impress clients, whether they have got a satisfaction or not. We should design. We should get to know, because that things definitely will lift a lot. Whether we need to improve our performance or we can modify certain things in future. Okay, so this may include changes in processes, system, behaviors within an organization, friends. See, the final step is evaluation. The outcomes of the interventions are assessed to determine their effectiveness. These steps helps to identify more improvements and areas which require further attention. Yeah, what kind of areas we need to improve a lot in future with respect to percentage, 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever. And all these steps, sequence steps, form a continuous cycle. So allowing organization to adopt and to improve over the period. So these are all the detailed steps which are available in the action research model. And the another important model, prominent model, is positive model. See, all the models are really dominating to the organization for further growth and development. The positive model represents an alternative approach to organizational change which focuses on strength rather than the problems. Definitely. Keep on while we are focusing the problem, we try to address the problem, getting solution. It is purely based on the philosophy of appreciative inquiry, which emphasizes identifying, building on what is really working well within organization, friends. See, whatever the avenues available, whatever the opportunity available, we have to make use for addressing the problem and giving solution without fail. There, we can find probably expertise of an individual, how they are all making use of expertise for the productive purpose. See, unlike traditional model that focus on identifying deficiencies, that is called some kind of inferiorities or some kind of remarks. The positive model always encourages organization to identify, recognize their achievements and leverage their more strengths. This approach creates a more optimistic and motivating environment for change. Correct? This positive model promotes future oriented thinking instead of focusing on past failures or drawbacks or setbacks. See, these things, probably having the apprehension with respect to optimistic one. It encourages organization to envision. What I am saying, envision a desirable future and work toward achieving it. That is called their focus vision should be towards entire organizational productivity. See, another important aspect of this model is its ability to enhance employee motivation and engagement. If you are talking about human resource management, we should talk about employee motivation and emotional involvement of an employee known as engagement. How emotionally people are connecting with the organization atmosphere or environment. See, when employees focus on positive aspects of successes, definitely they feel more energy and committed to organizational goal vision. So the model also supports innovation and creativity. By emphasizing strength and opportunities, definitely this model encourages new ideas and solutions that contribute to organizational growth. Overall, the positive model provides a constructive and inspiring approach to change. Again, I'm insisting the word called change. Why? Because employees also expecting change. The entire world is expecting change. Clients also expecting change. Even at par with the competitor expectation, as an organization, we need to take a call with respect to change. Change in different avenues. You decide where you have to make a change. So it is really fostering a culture of positivity and consecutive improvement. This is called positive model. So two models got over. First model, action research model. The second model, positive model. Next, 4D cycle of the positive model. What we are going to do? Here 4Ds we are going to explain. This model is implemented through a different stages. 4Ds, that is called discovery, dream, design, destiny. How beautifully the authors coined 4Ds. Discovery, dream what we have in our brain and mind, and design, and we need to go for the final execution. That is called destiny. Right? The first stage is discovery. And discovery stage, what we are going to do? In this phase, the organization identifies its strength, success, and best practices. This helps create a strong foundation for future development of each and every organization. See, it is not a probably temporary one. Followed by discovery, the another stage is known as a dream. You know pretty well, as a CEO, you have got expanded dream. What do you want to become? Right? The entire world definitely will look at your brand image, your product and services. Accordingly, your dreams is being developed. Right? No second thought, my dear friends. You assume that you are a CEO, or you assume that you middle level managers. Your ambition, your aim will become one day will be yourself. You will be CEO on fine morning. Assume that you are a CEO, the another stage, you can conquer, you can acquire so many companies. You can expand, you can diversify your company and products across globe. Right? See what under the dream, what we are going to do. Here, organization envisions a desirable future based on its strengths and values. This state encourages creativity and collective aspiration. Okay, the another stage known as the design. So in this particular stage, the strategies and the structures are keenly developed to achieve the envisioned future. It involves planning processes and systems that support the desired outcomes. Always, people look at results, results, results. The final stage is destiny. This stage focuses on implementing and sustaining the changes. It ensures that the vision becomes a reality and is maintained over the period of time. The 4D cycle emphasizes participation and collaboration. More and more we need to engage, more and more we need to participate, more and more we can go for collaboration. See, employees are actively involved in creating and implementing the vision, which enhances more commitment and engagement. This approach always supports consecutive improvement and reinforce positive organizational climate and culture. So these models are predominant models which are positively influencing organizational development and its further growth. Number one, action research model. Number two, positive model. Number two, 4D cycle of positive model. So we can compare how these models are interrelated or interlinked in one, how these models are collating themselves and how it is creating some kind of development for the entire organization growth. See, the action research model and the positive model represent two different approaches called the organizational change, each with its own focus and methodology. Unique focus, unique methodology, right? The action research model is primarily problem oriented. It focuses on identifying issues and finding solutions through analysis and diagnosis. So there two words called focus and methodology. Here two words is very important called analysis and diagnosis, where under the action research model. In contrast, the positive model is always strength based, focuses on opportunities and existing capabilities. Correct? See, in terms of approach, the action research model is analytical and structured, while the positive model is more visionary and creative. The action research model follows a step-by-step process. There are kind of sequence, lengthy one, whereas positive model uses a flexible and dynamic 4D cycle. Correct? The orientation of action research model is deficit-based one, meaning it addresses weaknesses and problems. See, on the other hand, the positive model is opportunity-based, emphasizing the strength and potential. Again, I'm recollecting the orientation of the action research model is deficit based, right? It addresses weaknesses and problems, whereas in the case of positive models focusing about opportunity based and emphasizing strength and potential. So both models involve employee participation, but the positive model places greater emphasis on empowerment and engagement by focusing on positive experiences. Okay. See, again, I'm telling you, both models involve employee participation, but the positive model places very great role. It focuses on empowerment and engagement by focusing on positive experience. Whatever the experience with respect to organization, culture, or even climate, or employee engagement, etc. See, in terms of application, action research model is more suitable for addressing operational issues and improving efficiency. See, operational issues and improvement of efficiencies are carefully addressed by or suitable by action research model component. This positive model is purely more effective for culture transformation and innovation. So, takeaway is the first action research model focusing about operational issues and improving efficiency, right? The second model, positive model, is more focus about cultural transformation and innovation. So both the models are valuable and can be used depending on the organizational context and objectives, friends. A few more points under the category called action research model and positive models. See, the action research and positive model are both designed for OD, but they differ fundamentally in focus. Action research addresses problems by analyzing deficiencies to create change, whereas positive models build on existing strength to fuel success. Action research is diagnostic and reactive, while positive models are appreciative and proactive. Core philosophy, focus, process, and best use. Four metrics are available in the action research model. With respect to core philosophy, problem centered, evidence based, and cyclical. With respect to focus, identifies what is wrong and fixes it to resolve organizational inefficiencies. But with respect to process, involves identifying problems, data gathering, feedback, planning, action, and evaluation. See, it is used for solving specific problems, identifiable problems such as high turnover or low productivity. Hope all of you listening very carefully. Whereas in the case of positive model, what is the core philosophy? It focuses on what the organization does best, seeking to amplify strength rather than simply fixed weaknesses. See, what about focus and process? Identifies what is right and builds upon it. With respect to process, offer follows a 4D cycle that is called discover, deem, design, and destiny. What we have seen, which explores strength and imagines a better future. And in what basis and context it has been used, creating cultural change, fostering innovation, and boosting morale by focusing on success. So any notable differences between both a model? See, action research focuses on gap reduction, that is called weaknesses, whereas the positive model focuses on potential, that is called strength. Okay, again I'm telling, action research focuses on the gap reduction, that is called weaknesses. The positive model focuses on the potential, more strength. With respect to process, what is the difference here? Action research is often a diagnostic one, top down or collaborative process, whereas in the case of positive model is highly collaborative and forward looking. With respect to time span, kind of difference is called action research involves unfreezing, that is called preparing for change to address the current problems or current issues, whereas in the case of positive models can begin anytime to create improvement. See, both models are effective, but they serve different needs. Action research is ideal for correcting deficiencies, while positive models are best for building future potential. The discussion is OD practitioner and his role. Who is called an OD practitioner? OD practitioner is a cushion between organization, environment, and other stakeholders. He is a professional, internal employee, or external consultant who got more expertise with respect to OD and changes. A person who has got expertise to contribute more for organizational growth and development, who uses behavioral science to facilitate planned change, improve organizational effectiveness, and enhance performance. See, the set of organizational development practitioners work on culture, structure, strategy to boost innovation, more efficiency, and employee morale, satisfaction, high volume of commitment. See, the OD practitioners are having different role: change agent, facilitator, consultant, trainer, mediator, and diagnostician. Right? What they are doing? They are coming to the organization. They have to stay with us, and they are traveling with us for some time. They can find the problem, assess the problem. They have got huge data from us, and based on the data, they are going to play with a lot. And finally, they are giving fruitful solution even for the unsolved problem. right? See, an OD practitioner plays a critical role in facilitating change and improving organizational effectiveness, friends. Why we need organizational development practitioner? What is the benefit out of that? See, he knows pretty things based on his own experience. He has been traveling from various corner. He has versatile experience in different field, different industry, insurance, banking, etc., or IT, etc. See what kind of problem they found for a period of 2 decades or 3 decades. They have got a historical documents and evidence. See how they are all facilitating change and improving organizational effectiveness. So the practitioners performs multiple roles depending on the needs of the organization, friends. See, one of the primary roles is that of a diagnosticians. Okay, the practitioner analyzes organizational problems and identifying areas which requires improvement using data and research. See, really know how to identify a problem. See, if you meet doctor or consult a doctor, the way in which how he is approaching you, the way in which how he is diagnosing the problem, identifying the core problem on your body. Keep on he is having multiple tests, not able to find the problem. We can't accept him or her as a doctor. Correct? See, like that, as a OD practitioner, based on his own practical exposure, he is coming, engaging with the organization, staying with us, and through our discussion and his own observation, he is going to get so many data and observation, and finally, they will assess and give the solution for a problem. See, another important role is a change agent. If you want to do some kind of changes within an organization, employees may resist. From the perspective of employees, just like that they won't accept. From the perspective of employer, we should push the changes in the minds of employees. No second thought. Why? We are looking for the development and growth of an organization, friend. So the practitioner leads to managing things and managing changes, kind of initiatives, ensuring that they are implemented very effectively. See, the practitioner also acts as a facilitator, promoting communication, collaboration, and teamwork among the employees, friends. See, this change agent or practitioner role, really facilitating a lot for the organization. This help in building a positive work environment. As a consultant, OD practitioner provides expert advice to management on strategies and interventions. This role definitely is a predominant one, involves a guiding decision making process, and the practitioner also serves as a trainer conducting so many research and come out the solution. In addition to that, the practitioner acts as a mediator, resolving conflicts and building strong relationship within the organization, and these roles definitely welcomed and collectively contribute to successful organizational development and change management. In last class, I discussed about change management, how people are resisting the changes for which, this person, change agent or OD practitioners, definitely are taking a sole responsibility to address the problem, right? How we need to change us in an organization gradually, percentage wise, 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%. Whether we are having a situation to introduce some changes or not. What kind of core competencies of OD practitioner? Also very important, because how, in what basis we can choose OD practitioner or change agent or a person who is acting as a cushion between two parties. External world called the clients and internal employees called the internal customers. What are all the core competencies or traits they should acquire, friends? See, to perform very effectively, an OD practitioner must possess a range of core competencies and skills. Analytical thinking and problem solving skills are to be needed for a person. Why? They need to take more action need basis. If they delay to take action, the entire organization will be shaky. So the problem solving skills are essential for diagnosing organizational issues, timely basis, and developing appropriate interventions. And strong communication and interpersonal skills also equally critical for interacting with employees, management, and other stakeholders. What our expectation, what client's expectation, what employee feel, what customer feel, everything we need to address. Effective communications ensures clarity and reduces misunderstandings. See, knowledge of behavioral science and OD theories is also important. This knowledge helps practitioners understand organizational behavior and design very effective strategies. Again, I'm telling this knowledge really helps the organization practitioners to understand the individual behavior, group behavior, and design effective strategies. So change management and leadership capabilities are also one of the important prominent competencies which enable practitioners to guide organization through transitions and transformation. See, transformation is a very, very important one in an organization, growth and development. And data collection, research, diagnostic skills are also necessarily to be needed for gathering and analyzing information. So these traits also to be required. These skills ensure that decisions are evidence based, correct, and emotional intelligence, above all, emotional stability and empathy are also important competencies. They help practitioners understand employee perspective and manage relationships effectively. The ability to manage resistance and organizational conflict. As I told you, if I make some changes or we launch some changes in different departments, different metrics or different parameters, immediately people resist. How we need to address those kind of resistance. And organizational conflicts also will be fall in an organization. How we need to resolve it. Really, it is crucial one. Really, no, it may be a critical one. Okay, in this situation, how we need to meticulously manage and ensuring smooth implementation of change management or change initiative. See, suppose the employees are resisting the changes, we cannot leave just like that. So people are opposing, so we have to drop the change. No, above all, we need to address the common problems. We need to be a better, position in the market. Even a running race, if you want to keep the position called 4 or 5, we have to keep on run. We have to keep on walk. Otherwise, our position will be moving lost. You understand? So the ability of manage resistance and organizational conflicts is very, very important for a change agent or the OD practitioner. So these competencies enable OD practitioners to perform their role very effectively. You should endorse this statement. Okay, and to contribute to organizational success, further development. See, our focus, our vision will be so high, sky level even. So for achieving these things, definitely we need of people. So these things will be addressed by the one and only personality OD practitioner friends. Apart from core competencies, there are some prominent important competencies also to be required by set of, the OD practitioners, or we can call them as change agents. See, OD practitioner require some important, or we can call it as advanced skills, handle complex problem or complex organizational challenges. See, strategic thinking is essential for aligning OD initiatives with overall business goals, and the practitioner must understand the broader organizational context and contribute to long-term planning. The changes, happening not for short-term basis. It is for long-term basis. For long-term basis, what we have to decide, what we have to take some decision. That decision, how far it is disturbing the entire environment, either with respect to organization or with respect to employee. Definitely no, the small narrow lane, how we need to drive the car or two-wheeler. It is very, very tough, or it may be art of an people. So like that, we need to do the activities in an organization, right? Anyway, probably people may get some kind of stuck or suffering a lot. We need to do some things, diplomatically or smartly. So designing and implementing OD interventions effectively is another critical competencies, friends. So this involves selecting appropriate methods and ensuring successful execution. So these are all called set of advanced competencies of an change agents or the OD practitioner, friends. See, facilitating team building and managing group dynamics are also significant and important role. Say, for example, strong teams contribute significantly to organizational performance. See, if we have strong teams and organization, we don't bother about anything, friends. So, what do you mean by team? See, collectively, how the team members are contributing a lot. In organizational behavior, in last semester, you came to know something called energy and synergy, correct? See, energy is a part of individual, synergy is a part of collection of people. So, strong teams contribute significantly to organizational performance, for which these skills are very important for each and every organizational change agent or OD practitioner. See, cultural awareness and diversity also, or diversity management also, are increasingly important in global organization, friends. You know pretty well we are all living in the competitive business environment. How we need to sustain ourselves in an organization, friends. How we need to beat the competition. See, OD practitioner roles are definitely welcomed by each and every organization. See, OD practitioners, nowadays call them as OD consultant. Their primary job, they are all finding a problem, sequence of problem, and how they need to give solution. Purely, they are all gaining a lot of knowledge through learning and experience. See, practitioners must be very sensitive to cultural differences and promote inclusivity, right? See, ethical practices and professional responsibilities are fundamental to maintaining trust and credibility, correct? So, ethical practices are inevitable one. How we need to do some kind of ethical practices in an organization. See, OD practitioners must adhere to ethical standards in all their activities. Okay, adaptability is another key competency. In dynamic and complex environments, practitioners must be flexible and responsive to change. Change is inevitable one, you should accept. We can exclude change are not at all possible. So these advanced competencies enhance the effectiveness of OD practitioners and enable them to contribute to organizational transformation and sustainability. So for sustainable performance of an organization, the competencies of OD practitioners are welcomed one. Okay, so we need to make use of their expertise in an organization without fail.